It's almost time for the alarm clocks to be set, but you should start getting your kids in a routine now for the start of school. Joining me is Dr. Frank Cummings, a psychologist, with some back-to-bedtime tips, so to say.
That's right.
You know, I think it can be a hard process for a lot of parents. Not that I know I don't have children, but, you know, summer usually means later bedtimes for a lot of kids.
Right, or no bedtimes at all.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the number of parents that come in and they tell me, well, they didn't get up until the earliest I've heard is 10:30 in the morning, and sometimes they say 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, well, why are you sleeping so late? And they said, well, I didn't go to bed until 6 in the morning.
Ooh, yikes. So that can be a tough turnaround then.
Absolutely.
So the idea, though, is that students, no matter what age they are, they're better in school when they get good sleep.
That's right. And, you know, there's a parent the other day at the store. I was congratulating her because she was really doing a good job of managing her kid. And she said, well, it's about time for her nap. Well, we forget about naps during the summertime, and it doesn't matter if they're kindergarten age or even into high school. Even high schoolers need more sleep. So it's not necessarily taking a nap in the afternoon, but they really do need a fair amount of sleep, not just in the school year, but also in the summertime as well.
And so now is a good time to start that adjustment period.
You bet. Don't wait until the night before school starts. That's a really bad idea because you're changing the schedule. So start to change that schedule in increments and start now. Okay,
so how do we make bedtime enjoyable without making it seem like a bad thing for kids?
Well, one of the things that works out really well is I call it a tuck-in time, and so that it takes away kind of that notion of, well, you're going to bed, and it's not the military thing, you know, bed at this time and then lights out at that time. But you can make it enjoyable without distracting, so you can spend time with your kid in their room. It's not like their room is seen as a prison cell and shut your door kind of thing. So
yeah,
make it enjoyable for them.
And you know, there's a lot of distracting items now out there that kids have. A lot of kids have cell phones, and they've got the video games in their rooms. I mean,
it used to be the most distracting thing in a kid's room was a radio and a flashlight. But now they do have cell phones, they've got iPads, iTouches, they've got video games, they've got televisions, they've got computers, not only just a desktop but a laptop as well. So there's lots of things that you can say, go to your room, and then they can actually say, hey, this is great, I'll be up all night doing things that maybe I shouldn't be doing.
I think a lot of parents can agree that the kids are going to fight me on this, Dr. Frank. How do I get through it? How do I make them go to bed?
Yeah, well, the thing is that you have to expect some resistance, but you also have to be persistent in it too, because kids really like structure. They may not tell you that, but don't think, oh, geez, I'm just going to tell them to go to bed, and they will. You're going to get resistance across the ages, whether they, again, be in kindergarten or in high school, but just expect it.
And even though it's going to be hard to push them, you have to remember that when your kid is rested, they're happier and they're healthier.
That's right, and you got to be consistent with that too. Just don't think if I do it one night, it's going to last throughout the year. No, you just have to be consistent over time.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us some back to bedtime tips. I'm sure a lot of parents will find it very useful.